just stopped and go to read. No time. I get mine and make no excuses. Waste of precious breath. No time. The sun shines on every.
We're in the place they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live. Welcome to the NBA for this Friday afternoon broadcast. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3, and it's Curry in at the point guard position. And so it's the Heat getting on the board first. Valanciunas with the ball, and Bosh picks him up defensively. Here's Lowry, and it's blocked by Curry. And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it. Basket is good. The assist from Bosh.
And, you know, we saw Chris Bosh really ramp it up with the 3-ball last season. I mean, we frequently see vets do that. LaMarcus Aldridge is a recent example. Extending your range is a great way to keep playing at a high level, especially as you enter your 30s.
Curry against Lowry. It's Curry with the drive. Got a hand on it, and he's able to get it back. Wade with no one around, but they get it back. From deep. Offensive rebound Heat. Here's Whiteside. Outside for Curry. Missed it, even after all those chances. And so here's Toronto. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. And DeRozan throws it down.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off of teams, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
And Valanciunas penetrating. Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. DeRozan passes to Lowry. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, Bosh was the big injury hit for the Heat, but they had a lot of other injuries as well. I mean, had to use 31 different starting lineups last season, and 20 different players started at least one game.
And injuries are something that you can't plan for, but you can prepare for them. And hopefully the Heat can avoid injury woes this season. If they can, they at least have players who have been through that struggle last year.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. He didn't even have to break stride.
Another miss by Curry.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Near the three-point line, it's Wade. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Miami trailing. Curry with it. Lowry picks him up. Curry attacking. Nice D from DeRozan.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And Lowry gets it to go.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
He took the opportunity when he saw it. 7 points for the Beast.
Gets one to fall, but only a second make in the first 7 attempts.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
The Heat trail by 4.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well. well.
And the Raptors with some changes. Biyombo, he's checked in for Patterson. And it's Powell in for DeMarre Carroll. And Miami also making a switch. Dragic is checked in. Now, here's Biyombo. The drive by Lowry. Stolen by Bosh. From deep three-point range, Deng can't get it to go. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Raptors. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Terrence Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry.
Raptors ball.
1:12 left in the first quarter of the game. Just 4 to shoot. And the basket by Scola. 1:02 left to play in the first quarter. There's Dragic with the three. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Here's Ross, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. Got me thinking back to my days.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Well, speak for yourself, because I could never throw it down like that, but I will say it sure looks fun, doesn't it?
And one of Goran Dragic's greatest traits, Greg, excelling in the open court. High energy point guard. A lot like you, speed to burn, very smart guy, coveted by many.
He really is. And, Kevin, he transitions from defense to offense as quickly as anyone in the league, a la Tony Parker, except he's also equally adept at facilitating for others and spotting up for the three, or just taking it to the rack himself.
Deflects the pass. Biyombo kicks to Powell. Biyombo dishes to Scola. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Scola's got his second basket of the game.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Here's Joseph. No good on that last second attempt there. And so, lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. Raptors lead by 3. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Center in downtown Toronto. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro. Patterson, Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
Yep, Velcro value utility, I call him, the kind of guy who his teammates just love. I mean, they know he's always going to have their back, and he's always going to work hard. He's going to do what he's supposed to do and be where he's supposed to be and do it when he's supposed to do it.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Carroll in at the 3. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. The Heat making a switch here. Curry's checked in. Well, the Raptors show they can be a force in offense once again. That was very clearly a strength of the team last year, Greg.
Yeah, and Toronto has a lot of guys that can hurt you in a variety of ways. They can score in the half court, but are really explosive if teams want to push the tempo.
You know, guys, another factor that made the Raptors so good on offense last year was their free throw shooting. I mean, they were second in the league and first in the East as they made over 78% of their foul shots.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had early. Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And there is a measurement in the NBA called true shooting percentage. It takes into account the values of 2s, 3s, and how you get to the line. That free throw percentage of the Raptors had them as the 6th best offense in terms of true shooting last season.
Now here's Curry. He has 7. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws. Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
Toronto leading by 8. On the wing, DeRozan. Pass to Patterson. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. There's the feed to Lowry. And so the ball out of bounds. Bosh touched it last.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. They only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
It's
Woo! Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark. Brilliant throwdown.
Just exerting his authority on that play. A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass. That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And, Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Patterson, and it's Miami with the rebound. Bosh has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Dang.
And a great stretch of games here for Wade at the end of last season. A great stretch of games for Wade at the end of last season. I mean, he turned back the clock, if you will, for a while and really helped carry this Heat team.
It's DeRozan with the drive. Curry against Lowry. From deep. And it's D. Wade with the rebound. The Heat trail by 4. Fires for 3. DeRozan with the rebound.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. Powell, he's jacked in for the Raptors. Joseph comes in for Kyle Lowry. Miami's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Offensive rebound. Joseph, that's good. Joseph's got his first bucket in this one.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy. The clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
Patterson, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. They get Hassan Whiteside.
And what Patrick Patterson gives you guys is solid all-around play. He can help you in a lot of areas. High basketball IQ, high character, understands his role, knows his limitations, and stays within himself.
And going back to Patterson for just a moment, he's been lauded for his mature approach. Ever since high school in West Virginia, he was involved in a highly publicized recruiting battle between Florida and Kentucky, ultimately choosing the latter.
Yeah, and you know, the part of his game, Kevin, that he's really worked on is his ability to face up and shoot. Really starting to evolve into a guy that can space the floor, that space 4. And when he's hitting that jumper at a high percentage, I think his value to the team goes up exponentially.
Now here's Dang. 5 points in the game. Biyombo kicks to Patterson. The Raptors have made 3 of their first 5 foul shots tonight.
And look back a season ago, they did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
You know, Kevin, they would love to post a similar percentage again this season. I mean, I think that's safe to say they'd love to shoot free throws as well as they did a year ago.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
The clock runs up.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith, and the first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. The biggest lead for them. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game.
The second half just about to get going here. What can you say? The Beast, an impressive effort here today.
Yeah, he was in attack mode from the word go. Came out very aggressively in that first half.
Take a look at his shot chart. It looks like the ink spilled right at the rim. No reason for him to settle for anything less.
On the floor for Miami, Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside. And it's Curry in at the point. And Luol Deng gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
The Heat trail by 9.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Now here's Wade. He's got 12. Pulls up on the wing. And he overshot that one, missing.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
That's his fourth foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 would put him in a rough, tough spot.
Toronto calls timeout.
Boy, once again, the Raptors were able to put forth a really strong year. You know, the national media recognized it, and the Raptors picked up more and more of the spotlight marquee games as a result.
Here's DeRozan. He's got 8, and the foul on Dwayne Wade. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Boy, it's been a tough go in terms of fouls for him. I mean, my goodness, he can't stay out of the way of fouls.
Toronto working the ball around now. Harrell passes to Lowry. Shot off the screen. On the wing, DeRozan. And that one is hammered home.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Well, for a long time, Greg, the Raptors didn't have a lot of nationally broadcast games in the U.S. Seemed like a forgotten team at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? A playoff drought is one of the ways that ended that factor. Also, the team plays an exciting brand of basketball. They're a division winner to go along with that, so you start adding those things up, and you see why the Raptors continue to get more and more coverage nationally.
Now Curry, following the miss by Kyle Lowry from deep. Out to Wade. From past the arc. Another miss by Curry.
You know, not really a significant margin in terms of them rebounding, but enough to get the job done.
Yeah, but one more advantage in the stat column, and that's what's translated to this lead.
Some changes for Toronto. Biyombo checks in for Patrick Patterson, and it's Joseph in for DeMarre Carroll.
Boy, he shows a lot of desire when he's fighting for that tough board, and his length doesn't hurt either.
They grab their own miss. Curry with it. Lowry picks him up. Puts up a 3. Another miss by Curry.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been healthy at all.
Oh, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger, Clark, right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
And, guys, that swagger can backfire because you don't want to get your opponent a little too riled up.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
And the Raptors with some changes. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Powell in for Kyle Lowry.
Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
And I like the fact that the ref's going to give him a little bit of leeway there and a lot more than they used to.
And the basket by Scola.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
And for Luis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career, then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
Group in for the Heat. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Whiteside. Wright comes in for Luol Deng. Richardson, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Johnson in for Curry. Greg, you were talking about Scola. He has the physical skills, Clark, to make a difference.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's not spectacular in anything, but he's really solid in just about everything. A pro's pro, and he adds value, tremendous value to any team he's on.
Johnson kicks to Richardson. Johnson outside. 1:24 left in the third quarter of the game.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
It's deflected and stolen by Wright. To the paint, here's Bosch. Scola with the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Well, the one word you can use to describe the Raptors postseason last year, disaster. I mean, Greg, nothing went right for them.
Yeah, I mean, after that great regular season, they were completely just manhandled by the Wizards, swept out of the first round in 4 straight.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Now a timeout called by Miami. The Miami Heat came up short last season in hopes of getting back to the playoffs. Clark, their road record didn't help them much.
Yeah, 17-24. I don't think you can be that far under 500 on the road and hope to play in the postseason.
The Heat making a switch here. Whiteside's checked in for Johnson. Dang comes in for Darrell Wright. Wade, he's checked in for Richardson. And Curry subbed in for Tyler Johnson. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Yeah, and that was important. Probably would have been a quick 2 points if he doesn't get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds.
Now here's Curry. He's got 20. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. Scola with the rebound. And here again, the Raptors in transition. Up the court they go. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. The Raptors have hit 4 of 8 from the free throw line so far. Folks, that's 50%. Not great work there. Free throw good, Joseph. And Joseph drops them both. No one near Whiteside as he lets it go. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one. May all. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And for the Heat, they're shooting just 29% in this game. They are not a pretty sight out there offensively. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. Corey Joseph is out there with Lowry, and it's DeRozan in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
Lowry has the open look. Offensive rebound. It's stolen by Wade. Curry with a wide open look. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Curry's got 22. It's stolen by Curry. From deep three-point range, Curry with another miss.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
The Heat trail by 21. Here's Wade. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this one.
And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. Damari Carroll's checked in for Toronto.
In for your Raptors, Damari Carroll.
It's stolen by DeRozan. And the foul called on Hassan Whiteside. That's his 4th foul of the contest. That'll be a 5-second call.
The second half, they haven't taken care of the basketball. Simply put, more turnovers now that could hurt them later.
The Heat trail by 19 and stolen by Patterson. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And again, it's the Heat missing.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half.
Wade for 3. Good. And it's Bosh picking up the assist. Bosh has got 3 assists now in this one.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
And that one's good.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half.
And Curry, here we go. And yes, sir, that one drops. Curry's got 24.
Great pass by Bosh there.
Raptors leading by 17. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary.
And you know what? That man can climb a ladder. And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Now here's DeRozan.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
Now here's DeRozan following the miss by Hassan Whiteside.
And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
Yeah, really good. I mean, extremely well-coached, fluid, efficient. Man, it's been a lot of fun to watch. The points just keep piling up because they've been such a well-oiled machine.
Oh, my goodness. That's like temporary insanity right there.
Do you think he realizes we've actually got a game, a serious game taking place here? I have my doubts, partner.
Bosch can't get it to go. Here's Toronto now. They've got a 13-2 run going. And DeRozan throws it down.
Boy, that was a violent throw down there.
You're telling me.
I mean, it's almost like he doesn't like the rim.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry. A new group in now for the Raptors. Biyombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Scola comes in for Patrick Patterson. Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Wright in for Kyle Lowry. And now here comes Dang, leading the break. Kept alive. Wade against Ross. Takes a three. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Carroll dishes to Biyombo. Deep two from Ross. He drains the quick shot.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Raptors.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yeah, and a very satisfying win for him, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for DeRozan. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Miami with the ball. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. Now he's checked in.
Siamo fragili se tutti ci